about to put the trim back on where I inspected the bulkheads, and I'm going to make it so it's easy to take off and re-inspect them again in the future. And this is what I'm going to use for fasteners. All we have is a stainless steel screw, and this is what's called a T-nut. And the T-nut is just steel. I'll put a little grease in there so the stainless doesn't corrode to it. And all you'll see on the trim is just the head of the stainless steel screw. I would like to have stainless T-nuts, but these will have to do for now. The first thing I'll do, I label these when the corner pieces when I took them off. This is the port forward, so that will just end up going in here like this. And what I'll do is I'll drill holes through here which will mark where I need to put the screws and the T-nuts, 3 on each one. And I take them off, and then I'll take the trim piece off and I'll drill a bigger hole so that the barrel of the T-nut will fit in the bigger hole, and I'll have a smaller hole for the screw so it just fits nice and snug. The screw head will look just like that, except it will be a Phillips instead of a Torx, and it'll look just like it belongs. I'm marking where the screw's gonna go, then I'll drill a hole. Oh look, I drilled a hole. Then I will enlarge this hole so the barrel will fit in it. And I take the trim off, stick the T-nut in the back of this trim piece, then I can screw it all together. Oh, it must be good.
I guess you could sink the screws too and put some plugs on top out of this sawdust.
No, because we want to be able to take these off again at another time.
Oh, right.
Now I take off the trim piece, have another look at my not so bent bulkheads, and put the T-nuts into the big holes I just drilled from the back side. This is the back side of the trim piece. The T-nut goes right in this hole. So I just have to get it sort of started, maybe hammer it in, and then the screw will pull it tight. T-nuts. These, if anybody wants to know, these are 8/32 T-nuts. We're in Mexico, so we can't get the metric equivalent. This is what we deal with. Now that the T-nuts are in, it's time to put the trim back on. Make sure you put the T-nuts in the trim and not in the side panels. Those are the screws behind the corner pieces when you take the corner pieces off. It's time to put these corner pieces on. These are machine flathead screws that goes into the T-nuts right through here. That's it.
Won't look as pretty, but it'll be easier to check. Bulkhead. I'm going to put 3 down each strip. Now pretty easily we could take this off and check the bulkheads every few months.
When you saw us in the last video, couple videos back where we pulled these apart, it was very, very difficult to get the corner pieces off. Now it's just 3 screws, it's off. Take the screws out of the trim piece, we can have a look very quickly now. Now it's all back together, and to the uninitiated eye, we never know it's been apart. Now I'm off to the other side to finish the master suite head. If you have any questions or comments about how I install this, please email us.
This is the owner's side bathroom head doorway, and if you recall, we took it off all in one piece. It'll be a little bit different putting it back together with the T-nuts.
Just putting in the last 2 screws. All I have to do is line up the door to the frame and we're done. Screw it in, we're done.
How many screws are in the archway?
I've got 5 screws holding the archway now. When you take it apart, there will only be 2 screws in the latch side. The rest is all glued on, which means it's a real difficult task to get it off. The benefit of using the T-nuts and screwing the trim back on as opposed to gluing it back on is for the next guy who needs to inspect it, or for me who wants to re-inspect my bulkheads. It can easily be done at this point.